And a world apart, a devastating mass shooting in Australia. 2 gunmen opened fire on a crowd during a Hanukkah by the Sea event on Bondi Beach. The attackers, identified as a 50-year-old father and his 24-year-old son, killed at least 15 people and injured 40 others. The pair opened fire from a pedestrian footbridge using high-powered long guns, including a rifle and a shotgun. They fired 50 rounds into the crowd. As Ahmed Akram, the son, fired at the crowd, local fruit shop owner Ahmed Al Ahmed ran toward him while others fled in a life-saving act of bravery. He tackled and disarmed him, wrestling the long gun away. Despite being shot twice during the struggle, he held the shooter on the ground until the threat was neutralized. Police wounded the shooter. He remains in a coma in critical condition. Sajid Akram, the father, was shot and killed by police at the scene. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the massacre as an act of pure evil and anti-Semitic terrorism.
This was an attack deliberately targeted at the Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah, which of course should be a joyous celebration, and the Jewish community are hurting today. Today, all Australians wrap our arms around them and say, we stand with you. We will do whatever is necessary to stamp out anti-Semitism. It is a scourge and we will eradicate it together.
Joining now to discuss the attack is Auxiliary Bishop of Sydney, Tony Percy. Your Excellency, officials declared the shooting a terrorist attack and said it was designed to target Jewish people. Victims included a Holocaust survivor, a 10-year-old, and 2 rabbis. What is your message for interfaith harmony in Australia and around the world tonight?
Well, since the inception of Australia, we've tried to create a free and fair society. And the first fundamental condition, of course, for a free and fair society is there will be no violence against any particular group. And in this case, obviously, the Jewish community, which has been under enormous pressure here in Australia since October 7, 2023. So that'd be the first message that I would deliver.
In the wake of a targeted act of anti-Semitic terrorism, how can the Church and other faith leaders work together to ensure that Sydney remains a place of safety and multi-faith unity rather than division?
Well, I think that the dialogue is very important between the major religions and getting people to agree that there will be no violence, and secondly, that everything will be based on the dignity of the human person. The Australian Constitution is very clear. There will be no religious discrimination. It's very clear in one of the articles of the Constitution, and what we've seen here is a direct violation of those fundamental human values to a free and fair society. So the religions should get together. Australia has a large secular group of people who don't believe in God, but there's a larger proportion of people who do believe in God. So that would be very, very significant, I think.
Authorities have hailed the Muslim man who risked his life to stop the shooter as pure heroism. What message does his sacrifice send to the Australian community about our shared humanity?
Oh, no, that was great. And you saw the footage. It's incredible what he did. And so clearly part of the Islamic faith, there is a sort of small section that is prone to violence and inciting violence, as we've seen in the country. But there's a large section of Muslims, too, that want peace. And so we've got to sort that out and make sure that as we go forward, I mean, this is a critical time in Australia's history now. We have to make sure that we are not going to have attacks on minority groups, especially the Jewish people, this anti-Semitic sentiment that's been aroused. So that act by that Islamic fellow is very welcome indeed.
Bishop Percy, thank you so much.
Thank you.